Hello and welcome back to the 107 podcast. And welcome back to me as well. It's been a
He's
while
back.
since I've been on here. You're back with myself, Ash, and my co-host Jacob, as we come in a couple of weeks out from February. And I think that's when Formula One starts, right? February.
Yeah.
Pre-season testing, livery reveals. But I want to ask you, who do you think F1 fans think is the dirtiest driver on the grid?
Current grid.
Yes.
I'm half tempted to say Sergio, but I feel like Kevin's up there as well. But also, so's George. But also Max.
Max. It's Max.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Would you like to know who they thought was second?
George.
Lewis.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess there is the attempted murder in Silverstone a couple of years ago. So,
Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton lead the charge.
who was this voted by the drivers?
No, they just did some poll.
Okay, cool.
Some publication.
Well,
And Ocon and Magnussen were in the running.
yeah. Well, I knew Magnussen would be. I think that the problem is that if you're usually in the slowest car on the grid or one of, you have to get your elbows out all the time if you're going to make anything work. So it's his default setting. But yes, welcome back, Ash.
Thank you.
Been without you for a couple of weeks now. Terry stepped
Yeah,
in.
we had our winter break, and then I was in New York for work. So yeah, it was a bit of a crazy. Speaking of New York, and we were talking about this just before we went live. I'm pretty sure they will try and push for a Grand Prix in New York.
Which I hope they don't, honestly. Like, I really don't want to see that. I don't care. I just don't care.
I don't see how the logistics would work. I understand, like, the skyline, the background, the skyscrapers. It would have been amazing with V10s.
Yeah.
I just don't see how they can shut down. What I would assume would be Manhattan is where they would do it.
Yeah, they've got to do it in Manhattan. I think I remember hearing about it a few years ago, months ago. And I think Central Park was the idea because then obviously they could, put pit lane and stuff and like pit buildings and stuff in Central Park as temporary buildings. But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I just don't see how they could do it. But I wouldn't put it beyond F1 to try and make something happen.
But yeah, well, like I said, Terry did a fantastic job while you were away stepping in. So thank you once again to Terry.
Go Terry.
Since you've been away, there's been a couple of bits happening. I'd love to get your opinion on Gunether leaving before we jump into some more up-to-date topics.
Yeah, that was a surprise, but also
it was, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. My guess was he went to Gene and it's like, this is as much as I can do with what you've given me.
Yeah,
right. You have to invest in the team. We need more money. They've obviously come to a disagreement where Gene's like, I think you can do more. Gunther's like, I can't do more. And we are where we are now. And I think they've just parted ways. Not amicably, properly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Drive to Survive is going to look very different next year. But
this year,
there was a lot coming out about, Gunether as a team principal, right? They were like, based on what people had seen of Drive to Survive, which I think is a bit unfair because, right, he has the swearing and fog smash and all that and how he spoke to some of the drivers, but you don't be a team principal for that long if you're that toxic, essentially.
Yeah, I feel as though, and I said this exactly the same last week, he got to where he is because he's good at what he does. And the fact that he held on to that position and maintained that position for such a long time, and the opinion of other people working in the paddock of him was very high, gives you a very good insight as to how good he was, given the materials that he was given to actually perform well. It's since come out, obviously the news broke, and since the last episode that there have been a couple of rumors going around that he asked for more money, but apparently Haas are close to spending the cost cap anyway. And then also the opposite as well. So who really knows, to be completely honest?
Gene.
Well,
Gene and Gunter.
Yeah. Well, there is also the theory that Gene is plugging so much money into this already, maybe take a chance on somebody new, a different team principal, a different direction, because like it's already going about as badly as it could do. They're bottom of the grid anyway. So why not mix things up completely in the hopes that it works?
Yeah, I wonder, what do you think will be next for Gunter?
I honestly don't know. I think that he'll probably end up doing something like in and around the paddock, like media for Sky Germany or Italy or maybe even Sky UK. But I don't know. Outside of that, he could go to Alpine. Alpine is still obviously looking for a team principal, but I feel as though it's too recent maybe for him to step into the Alpine job. So it could be that he does something a little similar to Andreas Seidel in terms of he joins in like a more senior role, or maybe he agrees to be team principal or like starts fully in 2026 with the new regulations. So he oversees the team ready for new regulations. So I don't really know. But he's not going to be disappearing for too long.
No, he's got a lot of experience.
A lot of experience doing different jobs as well. And marketing wise as well, he's a pretty big pull. So he may even be particularly good for Audi when Audi join the sport as well. Think about it. He's German, American, Italian, and like obviously those are big markets for Audi. So maybe they bring him in. Who knows?
As in what role though?
Team principal.
Is it Andreas Seidel?
No, he's that technical director. He's not team principal. The team principal for Alfa Romeo is some bloke whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. I couldn't tell. This is the problem, right? We've had how many different team principals now? Like, it's a joke. Like, you're telling me that Mike Crack is the third longest team principal in Formula 1.
So he was the CEO of Sauber Motorsport, but he's not team principal. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
so they could bring Gunter in. So it would be like a Zach Brown, Andrea Stella kind of relationship.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. Who Alfa Romeo team principal? Because I don't actually know the bloke's name, and I feel like I should.
I have no idea.
They're having a new structure, but it's oh god, what is this bloke's name?
Alessandro Aloni Bravi.
Yes, that bloke.
He's a managing director.
Well, I don't know. Let's be honest though, with Sauber, the whole team is in a little bit of a mess at the moment because they're sort of sticking around for Audi, like for the meantime, and they're like kick Sauber, kick Stake, or whatever it is. Like, it's very, very odd.
Which that name's going to change multiple times.
They're having an identity crisis at the moment because I don't think they know what to do up until Audi come in and take over fully. So they'll probably just try and milk it for as much money as possible and go from there. That's literally it. Like, they'll do the developments like where they see fit, but they will probably try and reduce costs and look forward to 2026 as soon as possible. So yeah, I can't imagine Alfa Romeo will be the most competitive package or most competitive team for the next 2 years, 24 and 25.
Yeah. They don't want to invest money and resources with regulation changes and Audi taking over.
Yeah, Audi are starting to invest more and more, and they're starting to invest less and less. So, yeah.
We just want to set up a solid foundation.
Yeah, that's
look, we're not winning races, but let's just get good drivers in if they do change from Bottas and Zhou. Get in good people around, a vision, a direction for the team, what we're going to do in 2026.
Yeah, I think that the rumors around Carlos Sainz are increasing more and more recently as well. Carlos going to Audi, so we'll have to wait and see. But it's not all happening just yet. So we will literally just have to bide our time and wait to hear what happens. But something a bit more current, I guess, is obviously my beloved McLaren launched their 24 car-ish, kind of. They launched the livery, which is essentially just a shadow livery from Singapore.
Hanging up behind you.
Well, almost this, yeah. But
no, it's the race suit. What colour is he racing?
Oh yeah, it's similar. It's just a bit less green. I thought
It's orange and black.
but like
You're
right
pretty much
behind.
wearing their livery.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I what do you think about the car?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I didn't like the blue in it, and taking out the blue makes it look a little bit more meaner, I think.
Yeah, I liked the blue, but I felt like there was too much blue. Like like previously, I feel like a little bit of a reduction in blue would have been nice. It would have been nice to feature little flecks of blue, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I still think that the 2019, 2020 McLaren is probably the best looking McLaren in a while. Like, I think that they smashed that. Like that weird sort of like blue along the bottom, like all the way along the bottom. Like the COVID year, that car for me is probably my favorite one over the past couple of years, like normal livery. And so it's a bit of a shame to see the team use blue so much and then completely disappear from using blue. But it still does look cool. Like, I think it'll look fantastic on track as well. And we will have to wait and see. But one big gripe I have with it, as I flick around some post-it notes, I'm going to put those down. One big gripe I have about that is it looks like there's going to be a lot of exposed carbon. I really do think that the FIA should mandate that a certain amount of the car's bodywork should be covered in paint, because it is ridiculous that we're having to not have an identifiable livery purely to reduce weight by a couple of 100 grams. I don't like that.
So you're saying there should be a weight increase?
No, so I'm saying that there should be a mandated minimum amount of coverage on the car of paint. So they should say, right, at least 70% of the car must be covered in paint. So that...
Yeah, but then they will do things like have lighter paint, like matte paint.
That's fine.
Is that why they use matte?
I don't know. But that's fine. Have lighter paint. That's fine. But like the exposed carbon, like how many cars this year will launch with lots of exposed carbon? The majority of them will. So that's my thing. It's just, it's a bit of a shame that we're losing some of the art of Formula One purely to save a little bit of weight. Although, to be fair, Alpine did release a teaser of like a weird blue-pink camo, which could look very, very cool. So I'd be interested to see how much paint is on their car and how their car looks when we have the launches.
I think just have like a weight paint. You have to put a minimum of 1 kilo of paint.
Yeah, that would also be fine as well. Yeah.
And then at least you can have a mix and match of designs, because then you don't have to go matte, right? You can go glossy, go whatever. And if you want to throw some exposed carbon in there, you can do that and just move paint somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see. But I like it. It looks a lot better without. I'm looking at it now. It looks a lot better without the blue.
Mm. But so you were saying to me before recording that there was a reason why they dropped it early. Would you like to explain to the ladies and gentlemen listening?
It's such a stupid rumor. It's such a stupid rumor. It's so well. Oh, okay. We should do a little bit of a backstory.
Okay,
right?
Let's do some backstory.
I was on TikTok in COVID times, and I found it very, very addicting. Right, once it knows what you like, you're scrolling.
You do scroll, yeah.
You do scroll. So I deleted it, and then you're like, "Look, we need to get TikTok for the podcast," and I was like, "Fuck," right? But then what I found was, because I use it and you use it, it gets really confused. I'll be like, okay, look, let me see what's going on in the world of Formula One. Let me see what kind of templates and what things are trending that we can make some memes out of. And then it'll hit me with like some Danish
like meme stories and stuff like that.
I was like, no idea what this is. Okay, I'm done and finding. But as I was genuinely scrolling through to look for because it's time to up the memes. I'm very proud of my Elmo meme.
That's done pretty well. Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so stupid. There, it presented me with some Lando Norris content. Now, I don't believe this. I think it's just fake. I think it's bullshit, but whatever. So apparently, and I didn't read into it because I don't understand the world today from, is it Gen Z or whatever it is?
Gen Z, yeah.
Gen Z. Apparently, Lando has been DMing some girl.
Right.
Right. I don't know what was said in it. I had a look. It's like another fucking language.
Hmm?
And these DMs are now all over TikTok. I'm pretty sure if you searched for it, you could see it.
I'm going to search for it
So
while you finish this.
McLaren was like, right, we need to kind of distract from this whole Lando story. And they're like, let's drop the livery. Was it 3 weeks early before an actual car launch and get people talking about the livery and not talking about Lando's DMs?
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but it's just so stupid. Right. There we go. Here, oh no, this is from 2022.
I've just had a look, and one of the videos is Lando Norris after that bath toys girl tweet. What? I don't understand. I feel like, yeah, I've no idea.
I think it's just people just making shit up on the internet and stuff.
Yeah,
but
probably.
apparently that was a reason. I was like, this is just like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah.
Seems so weird. So,
No idea, honestly.
yeah, that was it. Be sliding in those DMs, Lando. Be sliding in those DMs.
Well, apparently, yeah. So check your DMs. But yeah, no, I highly doubt that that's.
It's just all
That's what
bullshit.
it is.
It's just like someone's just
I
trying to
think
make up a story.
on a similar note as well. Like, I don't know if you saw the. I think I did. I spoke to you very briefly about the tweets that Bianca Bustamante, who's the F1 Academy driver for next year.
Oh yes,
for McLaren.
yes.
You
sent me a video
and tweets. She liked some tweets which insinuated that she was calling or agreeing that Lance Stroll was autistic, which is just such a ridiculous thing. I don't understand. But a lot of people are calling for her to be cancelled at the moment. It's like, I don't agree or disagree with it. Like, I just don't like. Yeah, I'm on the fence a little bit, but like, the cancel culture at the moment is outrageous. And like the amount of times where like I've liked something accidentally is probably quite high. Or when you're just doom scrolling, you just like something, like when you finished reading it type thing as well. Not defending her, but like it's not great at all. But she's been getting some hate, which is not good. Yeah, but I think that is a more serious situation than Lando DMing somebody.
I don't even think that story is true. They probably just faked some messages and said it out.
I mean,
it was just like when I was trying to understand what's going on, I genuinely did not know what was happening. And then one of the comments was like, "This is why they dropped delivery early."
No, I think that like in terms of like other social bits and pieces, I've seen that like George Russell has been skiing with Sebastian Vettel, and he went go-karting with Vettel and Toto Wolff a few weeks ago, and Fred Vasseur, I think, as well.
Oh, really? I saw the Wolves there, and Seb was there.
I have.
Seb's been out on a sailboat as well.
Yeah, Seb's been doing some sailing. So I'm trying to see if I can find the photo, because I did save the photo. I just took a screenshot of it.
I think Mercedes released a video with Lewis doing a Q&A with some dogs. Quite cool.
Yeah, I saw it, but I haven't watched it. If that makes sense. But yeah, no, there's one. Oh, the AlphaTauri stuff. The AlphaTauri stuff as well. So obviously AlphaTauri are going through a bit of a rename at the moment.
Visa Cash App RB.
Cash App RB. Yeah, like I said this as well in a meme that we made, but if you're Andretti and you're looking at what Red Bull are doing with AlphaTauri right now, you are stood there going, how on earth are they able to, like, how are they allowed to do this? Like, they're just messing around with this spare Formula One team that they have. Like, it's ridiculous. And Andretti are desperately trying to get in, and they can't. Like, it's not good at all. Yeah, I feel a little bit.
Speaking of social media and rumors, apparently there's going to be an announcement. I'm just reading now that there will be a Formula One race coming to Madrid.
Yes, that was the other rumor that sort of came up today, I guess, as of recording. So that'd be the 22nd of January. Yeah, that came out. I don't want another bloody street circuit, lads. I don't care.
Apparently it's going to be a night race as well.
I don't care. I just don't care. At what point, right? I'm going to ask a genuine question. At what point will there be more night and street circuits than traditional circuits? Because that's the point we're getting to, and I don't want it. I don't want it. 24 races is too much, and we have too many street circuits.
Oh, I'm going to slightly go off on a tangent here.
Please, feel free. The floor is yours, my friend.
So I have a whole new level of appreciation for people who work in Formula One and travel to the races.
Mm.
Like, seriously. So I had an all-day event on Wednesday, flew to New York on Thursday, got there Thursday evening, had an all-day event on Friday, was supposed to come back Saturday, but due to the layovers, I couldn't. So came back Sunday. That time of traveling and working, I wasn't jet lagged. I was sleep deprived.
Yeah.
I was absolutely ruined, and it took me ages to get over it. Now I'm trying to figure out someone who does like Australia, and then actually no, they'll go to Bahrain, maybe they might go back to the UK, go to Australia, go to where the next when it was like fucking crazy, and I'm like, how do they do it? When we talk about triple headers, it's like, oh, this is great, one race after the other after the other. I actually really, really feel sorry for like the mechanics or the staff and everything that basically work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then fly out, maybe back to the UK, see their friends, family, do some stuff at the factory, and then fly out and get this.
Out again, yeah.
It's just absolutely mental.
Yeah, I think because
it's actually mental. And I was like
happening more, but yeah.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, you get to travel to all these countries. It's like there's nothing glamorous thing. And I was like in a nice hotel.
Yeah.
And I was just I wasn't even, no, but what I'm trying to say is like, I had a good sleep and my work wasn't that intense compared to like an F1 mechanic, but it was just fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Right? And that was just a 6-hour flight. And I was like,
yeah,
you know what? You have to do what they do to really, like, I think people see the glamour of traveling. I don't think they actually understand how much of a grind it is probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you think about it, then they come back, they have a little bit of a break, and then it's into back at the factory, pre-season testing, you're good to go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of glad that they get that break in the summer.
Yeah.
For like a 3-4 weeks.
I think it's needed.
Totally deserve it. Yeah. And it goes back to what you're saying, it's just too many races on the calendar.
Yeah, it's too much.
Obviously, as like a greedy Formula One fan, you'd want as many races, and it's obviously a little bit different for the drivers when they can go private and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think there's just too many races on the calendar, and I would not be surprised if we see a higher turnover rate and burnout and just mental health being destroyed in staff and teams over the next few years, because it's kind of getting, and then you throw in night races, right? Look at what happens when you're in Singapore.
Yeah.
But we've got to work on this time zone, but not this time zone. And it's mental.
Yeah. And also, like, even if you're not traveling, if there is a race at an awkward time for people based in Europe, where obviously, like if you don't know, it's not only the teams on the ground at the track every single weekend. You also have a whole team back at base, wherever these teams' bases are, also working and providing data and doing strategy and running numbers and like all this sort of stuff. So like you could have like, let's say 100 crew at a race weekend, but you've got another 80 to 100 back at base doing stuff. So it's a lot of people. So even for the people that are still, I don't want to say at home, because they're not, they're at work, they're doing their job. It's still a slog for them to actually get through race weekends all the time as well. Even if you're not traveling, I understand it's a completely different beast, but it's still a lot. But one thing I think I've said multiple times is that like they need to cut down the number of races. They need to, because although obviously like it's very nice having race weekends all the time, but like if you have, let's say for example, 18 race weekends max compared to 24, which is what we're going to have this year. If there was 18, I might miss one during the entire season. But if there's 24, I might miss 2 or 3. Like if you're not that big of a fan, so it also eats into that as well. Like, and let's be honest, like it's like distance makes the heart grow fonder as well. So if there's less, it makes it more special. So I just completely disagree with more and more tracks. I think that honestly, the best thing to do would be to have 18 tracks. You have 18 races. Sorry, you have like APAC, EMEA, and then the Americas, and there are 6 races for each area, and they all go on rotation. So sometimes you might have a street race in Miami, and then like you might go to Sao Paulo, but then the next year Sao Paulo isn't on there, and you go somewhere in Chile or something like that. Like, and it should be on rotation. Just have 6 on rotation every single time to mix it up a little bit as well, because you cannot go on now where there are almost more Grand Prix weekends than there aren't Grand Prix weekends. That's the state we're getting to.
I mean, if you think about it, it's nearly a race every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like I'd never heard of triple headers
and sprint
back
races.
in the day,
and sprint races.
So if they want to do that, well, obviously more races means more advertising, more money. You know, that's a whole other discussion. But I think if they want, and that doesn't include Sky Sports, right?
No.
And all the broadcasters and media and stuff like that. So I think if they want to do it, just looking at the personnel, I would increase the cost cap and I would bring more people in, and maybe you can rotate some of the
staff. Yeah.
It's I think, hey, you can alternate race weekends or stuff like that, because again, I just did one weekend. Let's call it that, one race weekend, and it was fucking horrible.
I mean, you are an old man, so maybe these younger mechanics will have a better time.
Well, but that's a good point, because even Fernando was saying, right? He goes, the racing and all that, it's actually doable. It's all the traveling, right? And I know like they travel on private jets, but even they've got all their media stuff to do, and then they've got sponsorship events outside that. So like Fernando could be Australia. All right, we need you back in the UK to test some new parts in the sim, but then we need you in Germany for one of our sponsor events.
Yeah.
And then we need you like back down in Spain because we want you to promote the Madrid event. And then you have to head over to like China and stuff like that. So
it's too much.
Yeah, it is too much. It is too much.
And I think as well, like the like number of new fans and the interest into the sport, partly because there's no huge title fight as well. I feel like if it keeps on going up and up and up, it's all of a sudden just suddenly going to drop off because people are sick and tired of it. Like, to give you a good example, Harry Potter is so popular in the UK, right, and across the world, but it was super popular in the UK, and especially around the time when all the films were coming out, and like I think the last book was released, and blah 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 blah, right? But because it was shoved in your face absolutely everywhere, I completely lost interest. So I read all but the last book. I saw all but the last films until like 5-6 years later, because I just didn't want to do it anymore. I had no interest anymore because it was shoved in your face all the time. And Formula One there's the danger of that happening to it. That's the danger.
Absolutely. No, but it will. They're like they're just literally trying to milk and squeeze every last drop they can out of it, and people will switch off, right?
People will. Especially
like you said,
if
I don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. to watch a race. If I don't want to wake up at like, okay, I think I can skip Japan. If Max is winning everything, I think we could just skip Vegas or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a whole lot.
If we didn't have this podcast, like I think there were 1 or 2 races where I remember that I ran the Copenhagen half marathon, and there was a race happening like an hour before I would finish the race. And I remembered like trying to catch up and trying to watch the highlights like as the rest of the race was happening. It was Singapore as well. And if we didn't run this podcast, I wouldn't have got on that train and rewatched the entire race. I would have simply just watched the highlights on YouTube for free an hour or 2 after it was done.
Yeah, but I mean, I used to wake up for Japan.
Yeah.
Right. And now I'm just like, I'll just stay in bed. Max is just going to win it, kind of thing. So, yeah, I think, you know, obviously, more Formula One, more this, more that, you know, but I think they do need to step back and have a look, because there is going to be a point of no return, and I think it's going to affect a lot of people. So, yeah, I
think a newfound gone up, by the way.
Is it? Yeah, I have a newfound respect for anyone in the Formula One industry
Yeah.
who travels to these races and works. If you're listening to this podcast, thank you. And if you want to come on, please come on. But yeah, would love to hear your experiences because, I mean, getting flashbacks now. Flashbacks of red-eye flights and not sleeping the next day.
Yeah. I'm just having a look at it, and so Formula One has sharply increased the price of its official streaming service, F1 TV Pro, ahead of the 2024 season. However, the high cost only applies to new subscribers. Those with an ongoing subscription to the streaming service will continue to pay the same as before, apparently. But this is just in the Netherlands. I don't know how it's going in other regions. But the new price in Sweden seems to be 139 euros, up from 109 euros last year. I think for me, I paid maybe 80 euros last year, and I'm now looking at the website and it's saying 130 euros.
It's nearly double.
So it's almost doubled in price. Like, I need to obviously log in and check my accounts and stuff like that. But like no wonder people are pirating this. This is exactly why when I was starting to watch Formula One as a kid, I lost interest because it was on paid TV and I was a child and my mum couldn't afford it. That is the reason why I stopped watching the sport, and this is going to happen again because it's too expensive.
Yeah, especially in today's world with the cost of living, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's probably their excuse is like, inflation's gone up by like 15% of the last year. Okay, so increase the price by 15%, not 50.
Yeah, that's the thing. And what's the first things that go when like you're trying to save money, right? It's your Netflix,
it's stuff like that. Yeah,
your Disney Plus, right? It's like F1 TV, man. Just can't do it. So,
I'm just trying to see if I can find like my receipt from F1 TV. But yeah.
What were we talking about before I went off on that tangent? Madrid. We're talking about Madrid.
Yeah, Madrid. Yes. Yeah. No, that was where we started off. But yeah, no, I don't care about another street race. I literally don't care. You know, why do we need more street races?
I want more races like Austria and Spa in the forest.
Yeah, we want more proper races.
But again, you're limited by the layout of the city.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas if it was a custom, is that the right word? Purpose-built, maybe racetrack.
Yeah.
You can we can have this curve, we can have this straight, we can have this chicane.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, but yeah. I'm just having a look. Thank you for your order. Oh wait, no, this is our tickets from Austria. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm just trying to find like my receipt, to see like what the price was originally, but I can't find it. But yeah. But like, it's really, really stupid that they're increasing the price. They're only increasing the price because they know they can sort of get away with it. Yeah, but yeah, I will be looking into, and I would urge everyone as well to look into their subscriptions for stuff like this, because there may be a way of like maybe you pay monthly instead of yearly or whatever it is that may help. Yeah, because. Yeah, if it's gone up by that much, like I said, like if it's now for me, like looking at it, if it's now, where was it? It was 139 euros per year. Why? Like, why is it that much? Like
that's like a monthly Sky Sports.
That's gone up a stupid amount of money. It's not even 4K either. Like,
that sucks.
That's the thing. It's not 4K. It's 1080p. So,
mate, you gotta have Formula One in 4K. That's one thing that really annoys me. Is you pay a lot for Sky Sports, but if you want Ultra HD,
yeah, you have to pay even more.
Like,
it's like, oh, for God's sake.
How much more money do you want?
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm trying to figure it out. But while I do that, do we have any other topics that we can cover?
I think Fernando's back with some funny TikToks.
Oh God, is he back on his TikTok era? Okay.
He's back on his TikTok era. So, but no, not really. Not really, actually, no. It's
Nothing
been
from
very
him.
quiet.
Yeah, that's the thing. It has been reasonably quiet, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not been like chopped full of news. I think that, and then maybe that's why the Gunether news hit us so much, is that it was just such a shock to the system, because also there was no other news going on. There were no other driver moves as well. Like, yeah. Maybe that's why.
Anyway, what have we got? 5 weeks till race week?
Yeah.
Remember, Bahrain's on a Saturday.
Yeah, Bahrain is on a Saturday. Yeah, so that look out for that. Yeah, Bahrain's on a Saturday, and so is Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Saudi's on a Saturday.
Also,
well.
if you have Xbox Game Pass, Formula 1 23 is now available on Game Pass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had a play of it a couple of weeks back. It's actually quite fun. They've made a big change to the handling. We should get some games in.
Yeah, we definitely should. I think we obviously typically play like Warzone for people interested, but like we should definitely do some more.
I mean, you play. I just fucking am bait and just get destroyed by like 12-year-old kids.
I mean, that seems to be happening more and more to me as well. Like, yeah,
I was like, I just want to talk to Jacob for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, let me set up my wheel and stuff properly, and then we can get some more games in. For sure.
Yeah, that'll be good fun.
Yeah, I'll see if I can work on that like over the next week or so. Because I've got some free weekends before the Formula 1 drops. Yeah, but we are also hopefully going to be doing some stuff in the future with a couple of other podcasts, aren't we? So we're
really looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we're trying to work out at the moment with the ladies over at I Give It F1. We're trying to work out exactly what dates and when we're going to be working with them on a couple of pods. I think we're probably going to end up like they'll record an episode. And we'll record probably at the same time, and it'll be almost the exact same podcast, but I'm not too sure what it is we're going to do exactly. But that's going to be
the
fun.
Livery reveals.
Yeah, it's after the livery reveal, so we'll probably be chatting and rating all the liveries and stuff. So, and if you haven't listened to I Give an F1, please go and check them out. They are absolutely lovely, and their podcast is brilliant. I believe they came back. They did another first recording of this year last week, so I think...
And their social media is really good as well.
Social's good.
They do some great explainer videos.
Really informative videos, which are awesome. And then we had Terry on last week in place.
Terry's back.
But Terry will be back again. Yeah, Terry's back as well. If you haven't checked out F1 Coffee Corner, he has brought his podcast, solo podcast back as well. He was actually discussing, and I listened to his podcast as well, obviously. But he was discussing the issue that Zach Brown has with the potential Red Bull and AlphaTauri relationship, whereby they might be sharing a lot of like buildings essentially. And so like things need to be tightened up, or Zach is suggesting that things need to be tightened up with how sister teams or customer teams work with each other, and the rules need to be set in place in terms of like gardening leave and like borrowing workers and stuff. So it was pretty interesting. So I will do a rubbish job of summarizing it, but if you have the time, go and check out Terry's podcast on it, because he is definitely much better informed than I am, me paraphrasing this information. But we should hopefully get him back on to set up a bingo of sorts at some point in the next couple of weeks. So the idea that I've had, which I don't think I've had the chance to speak to you about, Ash.
Oh, I get to react live to this.
So the idea that I had, right, is that all three of us, so me, you, Terry, we have a 5x5 grid. And then from top left to bottom right, essentially we draw a random number compared to a list of like pre-agreed like things that we can put on the bingo card. So everyone's bingo card is slightly different. So we would have like 35 plus ideas on this on the like list, but only 25 will ever appear on the bingo card, meaning that they will all look different and they might not all have the exact same stuff on it. So it'll make it a bit more interesting and a bit more not competitive because I mean it's just random chance.
Can you give an example of what would be written?
Sure, that's a great idea. So I did put a Google Docs together because we use Google Docs on the podcast.
Because we're poor.
Because it's free. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was going to say Bezos, but that's the wrong person. Bill Gates just makes shit free, honestly.
No, Bill Gates and Microsoft.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Bill Gates makes stuff free because otherwise we would have used your stuff. So the current ideas that I have that could appear on our bingo are 4+ DNFs in one race. That would be a bingo mark because I feel like 3 could potentially have, but 4 is a little bit more outrageous. There's less of a chance, you know. An ugly special livery, a Ferrari double DNF, a driver wins their home race, and then a spin-off of that is Charles wins in Monaco. Not going to happen. And one of my personal favourites, which is the most recent one, is a French Revolution. So Ocon and Gasly have a fight or fall out.
What's the prize?
I don't know what the prize is, but
have a prize. You can have a prize.
We'll work it out with Terry. We'll work
whoever comes first or whoever gets the most. I'm guessing it goes throughout the whole season. So
yeah, it will be throughout the whole season. Yeah. So like there'll be a prize for like first person to get like 5 in a row. Like diagonal straight across whatever, like first for 5 in a row, and then I think we'll do another one for like full house or something like that. So, yeah, I think we should
have some prizes.
We should do some prizes, yeah. But I mean, there's no guarantee that anyone's going to get a full house. Like one of the ideas I have down here is someone, and then in quotation marks, turns into George Russell. So that might not happen. Maybe nobody turns into George Russell this year. Who knows? It's gonna happen. But like, who knows? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I have 20 ideas, and that's just me coming up with them so far. So like, I reckon we could probably get it up to like 35 to 50, and then it'll be a bit of chaos. Because like, if we get it 50, there's even the chance that 2 of us have completely separate bingo cards. Like that's the fun of it. So we'll figure out some prizes and stuff like that. So
yeah, we'll just ask ChatGPT.
Honestly, yeah, it's like ChatGPT probably will be able to help us out. But what I should do is I should drop that on the Instagram as well, and just ask people to suggest stuff as well. Get the fans.
I guess if we make it, we can share the doc with other people.
Yeah, exactly. If people want to play along, if people want to do the same, maybe I should do it on TikTok as like a stitch as well. So that people can play along and like draw theirs as well. But you just get like a random number spinner on your phone and just spin it, and then whatever number it corresponds to is what you put in your grid. Easy. So yeah, we'll have to get Terry on in the next couple of weeks to sort that out, because I think we should do it before testing as well, because I feel like or maybe even before the like car launches, because then we can include 1 or 2 car launches, like a random celebrity guest who doesn't need to be there whatsoever could be on. I'm gonna put that in, but like a random celebrity that makes no sense whatsoever. So like if they brought out like Usain Bolt at the Alpine launch, and it's like,
or you could have some like Red Bull release a different livery.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that should be interesting. But also, before we finish up, because we should probably finish up sooner rather than later. But I don't know if you saw as well that Haas aren't really having a car launch.
No, I didn't.
Haas.
Million.
Yeah, let's be honest, Haas News doesn't reach everyone. But so Haas News was that they're not going to be doing a traditional car launch. They are just going to be having multiple shakedowns of the 24 car, and they'll do like an online release of stuff and maybe release a couple of photos and videos from the track days and stuff. But yeah.
I guess they're saving money, right?
I don't know if saving money. I think they're actually worried about the performance of the car. I don't think it's looking very good. Which may help you in your predictions for this year. Maybe we won't get another Nick de Vries beating Yuki Tsunoda situation.
No, we won't. What was I doing? Looking at previous results and data to make informed decisions.
Can't believe you.
What's wrong with me?
You got to go with common sense. There was no way. No way Yuki was...
He got points on his first time in an F1 car.
I reckon I could get points at Monza on my debut in my.
You couldn't even fit in the car, mate.
No, true. I'm too tall.
Too tall.
I hadn't told you.
You would just be like drag.
Have you ever seen Jeremy Clarkson trying to get into that like Formula car in?
Yeah, they had to take out the seat or something.
That would be. They'd have to cut me into the car to get me in the car. Like it would be a similar situation.
Can you imagine if it was?
I had to go on a diet. For the first time ever, I weighed over 100 kilos.
Jesus Christ.
So I've had to go on a diet, but I can't find it. It's not here. Like I don't know where it is.
It's clearly there.
So I've had to put myself on a diet. I've lost like over a kilo in the last like 3 weeks.
What have you cut out?
So I haven't really cut that much out, to be honest with you. I'm just essentially what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make more good decisions than bad.
Right. So maybe eat more like food that's not as calorie dense.
Yeah, essentially. So like instead of eating an entire bag of Doritos in one sitting, maybe I don't do that. Maybe I only have like half a bag.
Moderation, mate. Moderation.
Instead of eating an entire tube of Pringles or eating an entire bag of biscuits, like custard creams, and maybe I only have 4 or 5 bags.
I think we need to.
Which still, even 4 or 5 max is outrageous.
You need to keep up with the running.
Yeah,
you were doing really good when you were training for the marathon. You were like going for a run, going for a run, going for a run.
Yeah, so I've set myself a target this year to the most I've ever run in a year is 300 kilometers, right? Which is decent. So my challenge this year is to run 400 kilometers over the entire year. So 100 more than I've ever ran, and it works out to about 1.1 kilometers per day, which sounds like a lot, but realistically, if you do 2 or 3 5Ks a week, you're laughing. Like that's all you need to do, and so I just need to be consistent, really.
That's it. You just need to get into a routine,
exactly,
and then just have your diet match your routine.
I honestly, I need to reach out to Ash Buttman. Get him to see me. No, I've been meaning to actually reach out to him because I have a slightly weak hamstring, and I want to ask if there was anything I could do, because like I don't like when I run or for training. This is not F1 related whatsoever. So if you want to switch,
just got off again.
A complete tangent. But like for me, whenever I was training for like runs and stuff like that, I'd never do weights. I'd only ever just run. I'd just literally just put my shoes on and run. I'd stretch. And
dude,
stuff,
weights are so good for you.
I know, but because if I did weights, that meant that I couldn't run for 2 or 3 days because obviously I was sore.
Yeah, but that's only if you start out. Once your body gets used to it,
I know. I just need to get more used
to it. You
don't
have to go like super fucking intense, like Arnold or anything like that.
No, I know. But like lower weights, more repetitions for long distance running, and just essentially go until failure. Essentially, that's probably what I've got to just get used to. Yeah.
Yeah, weights are really good, man.
Yeah, but no, I need to do it more. But that's enough of diet weight talk. I'm still waiting to get back under 100 kilos because I think healthy weight I was at like 96 kilos. I don't know what I am at the moment, so I think
I put
102.
Considering that I stopped training,
I should go the other way. I
just know
107.
Oh gosh. I'll speak to Shari and say, get this boy running. I've managed to put on 3 kilos since January.
Good job.
Considering I've been doing it traveling and I haven't trained as much as I'd like to. Yeah. But I hate life right now because all I do is just fucking eat.
Sounds good though.
Well, like I eat good food, not eating Toblerones all day.
You don't eat a whole bag of Doritos in one sitting.
Eat a whole bag of Doritos.
I'm still hungry. Anywho, that's enough of that. But yeah, no, I need to reach out to Ash. Like, genuinely, he's just had a baby as well, so he won't be listening. But congratulations.
Congratulations.
He's got a lot of free time now. We won't be doing a lot. So I can ask. So I can ask him for some running tips, because I think actually genuinely he might be able to give some I'm not looking for free advice, but just if he has 2 seconds to be like, yes, just do this, then great. Anywho, but yeah, so I need to reach out to him and just also say congratulations again on the baby. But we should wrap it up there because I don't really think we have too much to talk about other than that. We've been recording now for 50 minutes, almost exactly. But we need to get more regular recordings in. But it's almost been a year since our first recording.
Mad, innit? Absolutely mad. We're still here.
Yeah. So I believe our first like proper recording was February. I think it was like January.
It's definitely
30th.
February.
January 31st. Like it was like
I think it was Feb.
Published was like early Feb. I want to say. I'm having a quick look now. If I can find it, there it is. Episode 3 to episode 1. It just says February 2023. How helpful. It probably says on YouTube or something like that. But like, it's been almost a year. So
yeah, good. We'll go back to some consistency now that things are speeding up in Formula One.
Yeah, you're not traveling as much, I don't think, for the next couple.
No, not for a couple more months.
Yeah, exactly. So,
unless I decide to go to Bahrain, I haven't decided yet.
I'm February 27th. Sorry, I lied. It was the end of February. February 27th was a preseason testing. Preseason testing. So end of Feb. So we've got end of Feb until we've got a year of 107.
So not like a month, basically.
Yeah,
basically,
pretty much a month. Yeah.
Yeah, basically just a week or two just before the season starts. Yeah,
pretty much. I
think we've kind of timed it when the season starts.
It was
good time. We didn't jump into the middle of a season
because I remember we did a review of Drive to Survive as well. So,
Drive to Survive is out soon.
Yeah. So
we have to talk about that.
I was waiting for February 1st to drop, and then and hopefully by then all of the manufacturers or all of the F1 teams will have dropped when their liveries and like releases are coming up. And then I was just going to do like a little graphic for the whole month of Feb, and then pick out all of the key dates, and then chuck that up as well because I think that would be quite useful for most people.
And then if you pin it, we have like 3 nice purple posts.
Exactly. Yeah. So. Thinking ahead. But yeah, all right. Well, let's stop there. I think this podcast will probably go out tomorrow. It's not going to go out today. So on the 23rd of January, for those listening now. But yeah. Anything else?
Sweet.
No? Yeah.
No. See you next week.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. But yeah, we will be back next week with maybe some bingo. Who knows?
Bingo.
Maybe we'll have some other stuff, but we'll definitely be here or hereabouts and not too far away. So yeah, but we're really looking forward to the longest F1 season ever. And yeah, hopefully it's a good one, even though we talked a lot of shit about it literally 20 minutes ago. But there we go. Fickle F1 fans. But yeah, thank you for everyone for listening, and we will be back very soon. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
So I paid €90 a year, or I've previously paid €90 a year for F1 TV, and it is now €140. How can you justify that cost? How?
They can't. Well, they can't. They've got you. They've got you, and now you just have to. You're in the system now.
That is basically absolutely outrageous. Luckily, because it says intro price it was $87.99. It's €90, right? So that's intro price. But then it says €109 per year. Because I remember three years in a row, I created a new account because it was 20% cheaper to create a new account. But by the looks of things, it's just not going to happen. Like, to create a new account is more expensive this time. Like, and
that's how they get around people creating new accounts.
But that's still a lot of money. Like €140 is a lot of money. I mean, I'll pay it anyway. Like I'm paying €110, but that's still a lot of money. Yeah, they're pricing people out of the sport.
They are. Like I said, it's going to get to the point where it's like, you know what? I don't need this.
No, it's ridiculous. The more casual fans will drop off. It's not fair at all.
like you said, it's getting saturated. Just
Yeah.
too many races,
Too
Drive
much.
to Survive,
It's too much.
just too much.